Chapter 81 in a moment. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Li Qingyun's eyes lit up. Are you praising me for being handsome? Ah. The bald man said, in your words, should be, right? Li Qingyun said, well, I reluctantly agree to accept you as my apprentice. The bald man was overjoyed, his eyes shining. Thank you, master. But before that, you have to show your loyalty to master and deal with that old man screaming over there. He knew very well that although this bald man's origin was unknown, since he was willing to be his apprentice, there must be something about him that attracted him. What was there in him that was far beyond ordinary people? System. Liangho's token. Or the flawless foundation. No matter what, it was a free apprentice. Since the system dared to let him accept this apprentice, then this apprentice would not have too many problems. At most, there would be a little trouble. The bald man looked at Xuanhuan who was shouting on the side, and asked Li Qingyun with some guilt, did he recognize the wrong person? The ancestor he called was knocked unconscious by me. Li Qingyun said, he said you are the ancestor, then you are his ancestor. The bald man scratched his head and said in embarrassment, okay, then I will beat him, but I don't think I can beat him. Li Qingyun. Can't beat him. The bald man glanced up, actually much shorter, and actually showed a cowardly attitude. Li Qingyun looked at the bald man helplessly. He looked so fierce, so big, and had the strength to kick the door of the underworld. How could he be so cowardly? The bald man touched his bald head and said embarrassedly, I have never dared to fight with others since I was a child. I get nervous when fighting, and then I can only get beaten. So my father doesn't like me. Times degree times. Speaking of this, the huge bald man actually pouted his lips, with thick and big lips pouted like a child, like a big teapot. Li Qingyun, that I didn't expect this guy to have such a personality, Yang Haiaoshue said, you can't fight, then can you take back the power from the underworld on him? The bald man looked at Xuanhuan on the side and said, this is easy. After saying this, the bald man stared at the big head and walked toward Xuanhuan step by step. Xuanhuan saw that the ancestor he had been thinking about finally walked towards him. He was very excited and hurriedly tidied his sleeves and hair and looked at the bald man respectfully. Disciple Xuanhuan, pay homage to the ancestor. Xuanhuan fell to his knees and bowed to the ancestor. The bald man was stunned for a moment, turned around and looked at Li Qingyun. Li Qingyun nodded to him, and the bald man said, then, you get up. Xuanhuan hurriedly stood up and looked at the bald man with expectation. He had heard what the ancestor and Li Qingyun had just said. He knew that the ancestor must have just come to this world and did not understand the rules of this world. He also mistook Li Qingyun for his own, so he was confused by Li Qingyun's nonsense. I must tell the ancestor later that those two people have nothing to do with me and are enemies of the Soul Capture Sect, and then kill Li Qingyun and Yang Haiaoshue. The bald man said, how many ghost seeds have you used? Xuanhuan said, in reply to the ancestor, I have used a peerless ghost seed bestowed by the ancestor, and the other two were distributed by the disciple. The bald man said, I'm sorry, I want to take these ghost seeds back. Xuanhuan was stunned for a moment and asked, why is this? The bald man stopped talking nonsense, raised his long arms, and pointed his palms to the sky. A powerful force appeared in his palms, forming a small vortex. The small vortex rotated rapidly, absorbing something from all around. Shi Feiyu was lying on the ground, covered in blood, dying. At this time, a green seed flew out from his forehead and flew into the palm of the bald man's hand. At the same time, Xuanhuan couldn't control himself. He covered his head and cried out in pain. A seed several times larger than Shi Feiyu's ghost seed flew out of his mouth and flew into the palm of the bald man's hand. As this ghost seed flew out, Xuanhuan's breath quickly dropped from a half-step heavenly man to a Yuanying, and it was still continuing to drop. Xuanhuan looked at the bald man with fear on his face. Ancestor, why? Why do you do this to me? At this moment, he was completely desperate. Why did the ancestor want to take back his ghost seeds and attack him? Was he really a fool who became Li Qingyun's cheap apprentice with just a few words? Could it be that, the plan he had planned for so many years had failed so absurdly. A stream of light flew from the direction of the martial arts arena. It was the ghost seeds that he had placed on the disciples in the arena competition. The 3 ghost seeds had been collected. The bald man excitedly grabbed the 3 ghost seeds and ran to Li Qingyun, saying, "Master, I got them back. Be careful." Li Qingyun widened his eyes, looked behind the bald man, and reminded him in surprise. "Ah!" The bald man stood in place. "What?" Just behind the bald man, Xuanhuan suddenly jumped up, and an extremely sharp breath turned into the shape of a knife, slashing straight at the bald man's neck. "Go to hell." Xuanhuan put his palms together, manipulated the spiritual power to transform into a scimitar, and chopped down at the bald man. The battle happened in an instant. Xuanhuan, who was originally timid towards the bald man, now decisively chose to attack violently. He wanted to kill the bald man. "You dare to sneak attack my apprentice?" Seeing that the bald man had no way to dodge Xuanhuan's attack, Li Qingyun almost subconsciously drew out his sword. Qingfeng sword. Yuelu's sword art was used for the first time. The Qingfeng sword fell into Li Qingyun's hands and was used against the enemy for the first time. The sword light carried unparalleled momentum, and at a speed far exceeding Xuanhuan's sword light, it swept past the bald man and directly faced the sword light that attacked the bald man. The sword and the sword intersected, and the two were entangled together on the bald man's back. The bald man turned around and looked at Xuanhuan, who attacked him. Xuanhuan was concentrating on dealing with Li Qingyun's sword energy at this time. Although Li Qingyun's sword moves were difficult, his spiritual foundation was too weak. He believed that he could break Li Qingyun's sword moves and kill Li Qingyun in just a moment. However, the bald man grinned at him, revealing his huge teeth, enlarged his palm, and slapped Xuanhuan with a palm sneak attack. Xuanhuan suddenly retracted his spiritual power and dodged to the right, narrowly avoiding the bald man's giant palm, but the next moment, a piercing chill enveloped his whole body, and then, he felt as if his body was flying, and then, the world was spinning, and his vision was swaying left and right. Xuanhuan's head was cut off by Li Qingyun, the headless body was bleeding, but the limbs were constantly twisting and twitching, and the 2 legs were still swaying, as if looking for something. In the end, the headless body fell stiffly to the ground. The bald man's face was pale, and he hid his huge body behind Yang Haoshue, looking frightened, closing his eyes, and dared not look at Xuanhuan's body. "He's headless, he should be dead." Li Qingyun muttered with a pale face. The whole process of Xuanhuan's dancing and dancing after his head fell off fell into his eyes. Speaking of it, this should be considered the first time he killed someone in this life. Killing people is really disgusting. Li Qingyun looked at the blood flowing all over the ground and the blurred flesh and blood in the blood, and said with disgust, "You haven't killed him yet." Yang Haoshue grabbed Xuanhuan's head, but the moment she picked up Xuanhuan's head, a golden light flew out of Xuanhuan's head. The golden light flew out without hesitation, with a desperate meaning. Yang Haoshue Hongling flew out, followed the golden light, and rolled it back. Regardless of the resentful cry of the golden light, she exerted force and rolled the golden light hard. The cry stopped and the golden light disappeared. Is this Xuanhuan's nascent soul? After the nascent soul cultivator condenses the nascent soul carries all the consciousness of the cultivator. Even if the cultivator's physical body dies, the nascent soul can leave the physical body and survive for a period of time, and can even find the physical body again, take over the body successfully, and revive again. Li Qingyun was a little scared. He was careless just now and almost let Xuanhuan's nascent soul go. Xuanhuan was at the half-step heavenly realm. If the nascent soul escaped and took over the body of a mortal, the chance of resurrection would be even greater. "Ha! Who is it?" Suddenly, Li Qingyun felt 2 auras appear near him, and they were very close to him. He didn't notice these 2 people when he was fighting with Xuanhuan just now. They were 2 nascent souls that had not been damaged. He had just used the Qingfeng sword and his spiritual power had been almost consumed. Damn it. 2 nascent souls appeared at this time. How should he deal with them? Ah! Sect Master Li, please forgive me, yes, it's us. Accompanied by this panicked voice, two people crawled out from a hidden place about 10 meters away from Li Qingyun. Chapter 82 Baldhead. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Two people wearing the clothes of the elders of the soul-snatching sect walked up to Li Qingyun respectfully, clasped their fists and saluted, and said respectfully, "Meetings, Sect Master Li, the two of us are the third and fourth elders on the soul-snatching sect stage." "So you two are the third and fourth elders of the soul-snatching sect." Li Qingyun suddenly realized, no wonder both of them have the strength of the early nascent soul stage. The third elder, who was the leader of the two, said, It's just that since Sect Master Li is unparalleled in power and has defeated Sidiquan, Shifeiyu, Huangquanzi and Zaiyozi." Alas, he sighed, and the sigh could not hide the trembling in his heart. The soul-snatching sect has been destroyed, and the two of us can no longer be considered elders of the soul-snatching sect. Li Qingyun looked at Shifeiyu, Huangquanzi, Zhang Shao, and Sidiquan, who were killed by his sword. This third elder actually thought that he killed all these people. Li Qingyun laughed at himself, thinking that this person must have come here a long time ago and saw that he had indeed killed Sidiquan with a sword. Otherwise, with his reputation as a waste for so many years, how could he believe that he killed Sidiquan? He must think that he ran over to grab the spoils after several people died together, right? This can be seen from the Su Taihe incident. At that time, Su Taihe was captured by himself, and all signs pointed to him taking Su Taihe away, but Huangquanzi and Sidiquan would never believe that it was him. It was this useless person who took Su Taihe away. Although I got the benefit in the end, it was always uncomfortable to be looked down upon by others. Now this person saw his strength and saw that he killed Sidiquan with one sword as easily as cutting melons and vegetables. He was impressed by his strength and feared himself. Naturally, he thought that the four people lying on the ground were all killed by him. This feeling of being admired for one's strength is a bit high profile compared to being looked down upon, but to be honest, it is quite good. The third elder said, "We are only working for Sidiquan. Now that the soul-snatching sect has been destroyed, we will no longer be enemies with Sect Master Li. Please let us live." The two of them clasped their fists together and begged Li Qingyun. They were obviously afraid of Li Qingyun at this moment. The leaders of the four major sects in Dihua Prefecture died here at the same time, and it is very likely that they died at the hands of Li Qingyun. This morning they thought the situation was under control, but now, the sky has fallen. Swoosh! Before Li Qingyun could speak, a sound of breaking through the air came, and another breath came here. "My two Taoist friends, have you found anything here?" "Ah! That idiot Shifeiyu died here. It seems that Elder Situ is really brave. Then Dihua Sect is completely worry-free. I have been lurking in Dihua Sect for so many years, and finally there is a reward." A cultivator who had not taken off his Dihua Sect uniform seemed to be a little proud and said a string of words without seeing the situation clearly. Li Qingyun looked at the third elder. "Is this the traitor of Dihua Sect?" The third elder looked at the man awkwardly and nodded. "You want me to let you go?" The third and fourth elders nodded again. "I hate traitors the most in my life." After saying this, Li Qingyun turned around and stopped looking at them. The third and fourth elders looked at each other, a hint of cruelty flashed in their eyes, and they silently drew their weapons and faced Elder Wu of Dihua Sect. Elder Wu took 2 steps back. "You." The third elder said, "I'm sorry, Elder Wu, we are also trying to save our lives." The sword flashed, and Elder Wu screamed, "Ah! No! Help!" The battle ended quickly. In order to show his loyalty, Elder Wu tried his best in the battle with Dihua Sect, dealt with many people, and consumed a lot of energy. Therefore, when he was attacked by the third and fourth elders, he quickly lost his life. It was a bit pitiful, but he died for what he deserved. Zhang Shao, the leader of Xiaoyao Sect, died and was slapped to death by Sidiquan. Huangquan Sect leader and elder, Huangquanzi, died of exhaustion of spiritual power. His expression was quite peaceful before his death. Li Qingyun was familiar with Huangquanzi. Although he was used by Li Qingyun once and took the blame for Li Qingyun, Huangquanzi was still brave in the battle with Sidiquan. In general, Li Qingyun did not have a bad impression of him. Shi Feiyu, the leader of Dihua sect, died, his vitality was exhausted, his spiritual power was exhausted, and he died with his eyes open. A bright future, he was destroyed by Sidiquan's conspiracy, but in the end, in order to wash away the stigma, he fought to the death with Sidiquan. This courage made Li Qingyun feel a sense of sympathy. It was not bad for this person to become the leader of the sect. Sidiquan, the nominal elder of the soul-snatching sect and the actual leader, was killed by Li Qingyun. This person has been playing a big game for more than 10 years. The decline of Qingshan Sect, the loss of strength of Xiaoyao Sect and Xuanhuan Sect, and the change of temperament of Shi Feiyu, the leader of Dihua Sect, all showed signs of Sidiquan's secret manipulation. In the past 10 years, Sidiquan ran from Qingshan Sect to soul-snatching sect, step by step, painstakingly, even at the cost of making deals with ghosts. In the end, the ghosts that the soul-snatching sect had worshipped for hundreds of years, the secrets that Sidiquan had treasured for more than 10 years, and the thing he called the ancestor, unexpectedly became Li Qingyun's apprentice. Li Qingyun shook his head, he really didn't know what Sidiquan was feeling at that time. Although the bald guy was his ancestor by mistake, no matter who it was, seeing the thing he called his ancestor calling his enemy master, he would be emotionally upset, right? Ding, congratulations to the host, you defeated the first opponent on the road to the strongest sect, the soul-snatching sect. Rewards. 1. All sect buildings are upgraded once. 2. All core members of the sect below the Heavenly Man level will have their qualifications upgraded by 1 level. Extra reward, recruit an 8-star disciple during the mission, and get an extra 800 genius points. After the system information was transmitted, 5 golden pills appeared in Li Qingyun's hand, corresponding to a sect master, an elder, and 3 disciples in the current sect. Li Qingyun muttered in his heart, why are there no Lu Bo and Lao Lu? Yang Hai Aoshue walked up to Li Qingyun, patted Li Qingyun on the shoulder, and said, congratulations, Sect Master Li, this Dihua Prefecture will be renamed Qingshan Prefecture in the future. Ha! Li Qingyun then realized that all the sects that threatened him had been destroyed, and now Qingshan Sect could definitely take advantage of the situation and unify the sect world of Dihua Prefecture, so, it was only a matter of time before Dihua Prefecture was renamed Qingshan Prefecture. Bang! Suddenly, a giant hand fell on Li Qingyun's shoulder and patted Li Qingyun's shoulder. The bald man also imitated Yang Hai Aoshue and said, congratulations, Sect Master Li. Pa! Li Qingyun knocked the bald man's hand away and stared at him with murderous eyes. The bald man shrank his neck in fear and asked, Master. What instructions does the master have? What's your name? My name is Nicky Gorovich Prushchev. The bald man uttered a long string of strange syllables. Although the syllables were very strange, they were strange but had a sense of majesty. Oh, very good, a good name, then I will call you Pu Guangtou from now on. Pu Guangtou was surprised, but then hurriedly said, thank you for the name, master. Li Qingyun held back his laughter. This bald man was actually called Prushchev. In terms of appearance, he was indeed quite similar to a historical figure in his previous life named Xiaofu. Okay, Pu Datu, behave well in the future. Yes. I will take you to see your 2 brothers now. Okay. But where are they? They may still be fighting. Oh, do my brothers like to fight too? Will they be fierce? I really don't understand, you actually think others are fierce? Oh. But master, you fight so fiercely, I'm really scared. The sun has completely set in the sky, and night has fallen. Only the voices of Li Qingyun and his new apprentice Pu Kaitu are echoing in the distance. Chapter 83 Takeover. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The moment Pu Guangtou took back the ghost seed, the outer disciples of the soul-capturing sect who were fighting against Ping'an and Sun Liang lost their power. Lu Benwei, who had lost his power, had a ferocious expression, was weak all over, and his life was in danger. Naturally, he surrendered immediately and gave up the competition. Ping'an and Sun Liang naturally won the 20th competition, defeating the 40 people who captured the soul. This scene is very interesting. When Pingyan and Sun Liang stood on the ring with their hands raised, welcoming the applause and flowers from the audience, not far from the martial arts arena, their master, Li Qingyun, also happened to kill Sita Quan with a sword. The audience stood up and cheered for the wonderful and shocking performance of Pingyan and Sun Liang. They had no idea what kind of earth-shaking earthquake would occur in the immortal Cultivation sect of Dihua Mansion after this glory. Peace. 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 Xuanliang. Xuanliang. Qingshan Sect. Qingshan Sect. That the cheers were endless. Sun Liang pulled Pingyan. Where is master? Ha! Not only is the master not here, but also those old men from Huangquanzi. Pingyan looked around and discovered this. Sun Liang showed a worried look, but in the next moment, there was a burst of sound in the air, and his worried look disappeared. Pingyan showed his little tiger teeth and pointed at the sky. Its master, that a flying magic weapon fell from the sky and landed on the ring with a crash. After many years, the residents of Dihua Mansion, no, even the residents of Qingshan Mansion will never forget such a scene, in a festival-like carnival atmosphere. Sect Master Li descended from the sky like a god, wearing a white Taoist robe. The Taoist robe was slightly damaged due to the battle, but this did not affect his noble temperament. He held the sword in one hand, and the tip of the sword gently touched the white stone of the ring. The originally excited audience held their breath in front of him, and no one dared to say a word. Finally, Sect Master Li said those words. Just now, all 3-star and 4-star sects in Dihua Mansion were destroyed. This sect leader announces that from now on, Qingshan Sect will take over the sect realm of Dihua Mansion. When Feng Yong received the news, he was maintaining order in the casino. Because Pingyan and Sun Liangzhen fought 40 times, the gamblers lost a lot of money and there was some riot at this time. Because the scale of this competition is different, the status and cultivation strength of the gambler are much higher than last time, so the scene got a little out of control for a while. Go away. A high-level monk waved away the big hand that came forward to maintain order, and warned Feng Yong, tell you too, I have an old relationship with the elder of the Dihua sect. Believe it or not, I told you the trick you used to deceive people today. Say it out. Kill your little Qingshan sect. A big man with a gloomy face said, I am a core disciple of the soul-calling sect. How dare you win my spirit stone? A big shot from a big family said, winning the next 2 games is too fake. It was obviously arranged by you, right? You, the Qingshan sect, have won tens of thousands of spirit stones in the past 10 games, right? Now you have won again. With so many spirit stones, can a small 2-star sect like you afford it? The handyman ran to Feng Yong and asked, Master Feng, the situation is out of control, what should I do? How about, we give back the capital of these people in the last scene? Feng Yong Dao, no, the revenue from the Daiweizong casino alone in the last game was nearly 5,000 spirit stones. 5 cities have opened gambling markets, so we can't start like this, the handyman said, but... Feng Yong interrupted the handyman, it doesn't matter, it's time for these people who are looking for death to wake up. Shut up, everyone. Feng Yong stood in front of the rioting people and shouted loudly. After this period of training, Feng Yong has eliminated the strangeness towards these high-level monks and is no longer afraid of them. And he knew very well what words would work best when facing them. The rioting gamblers became even louder. Who are you? How dare you shout at us? Tell your sect leader to come out and talk to us. Watch your attitude. Ha! Feng Yong sneered, I want to tell you some good news. Oh. What's the good news? Do you want to give us money in exchange? Don't think that if you pay back the money, I can let you Qingshan sect off easily. If you set up a scam, I won't be able to spare you. It's almost enough to compensate me several times more. Feng Yong curled his lips, took out a small projection array, and played a video. Li Qingyun stood on the stage like a god descending to earth, holding a sword in one hand. This sect leader announces that from now on, the Qingshan sect will take over the Dihua Mansion sect. It was like a basin of cold water was poured down, and the originally fiery atmosphere in the casino dropped to freezing point. These people with good strength and some status in the sect can best understand what this means. One person's throat rolled and he asked, "Is this, really, that a person who just claimed to be a disciple of the soul-capturing sect said with fear in his voice, look at his other hand." Everyone looked at Li Qingyun's other hand holding the sword. The ring on his thumb is the space ring of the great elder Xuanhuan. Immediately afterwards, someone else said, "The red one belongs to the head of the Dihua sect, Shifeiyu. That is Lord Huangquanzi's ring." The last one. One person even shed tears in fear. The last one is the ring of Zhang Xiao, the leader of Xiaoyao sect. Did this devil kill the leaders of 4 sects? One person said with gritted teeth. However, soon, more people figured out the situation and understood that the Dihua prefecture would completely change in the future. I have long seen that sect Master Li is extraordinary and brave. As expected, he turned into a dragon overnight. Congratulations. Feng Yong smiled and said, "The good news has been announced. Come on, return the money you just cheated." "Don't do that. Master Feng is joking. We were just joking with you just now. Don't take it seriously. Casinos are most trustworthy. If Master Feng returns the money to me, I will be angry with you." Feng Yong said, "Are you serious? That must be true. Master Feng, please don't be polite." These gamblers know very well that Feng Yong is someone around Li Qingyun. Now that Li Qingyun has the strength to destroy the 4 sects and take over Dihua Prefecture, it is only a matter of time before Dihua Prefecture becomes Qingshan Prefecture. Facing such a popular person, they dare not offend him at all. At the same time, similar scenes occurred in various casinos in the 5 cities of Dihua Prefecture. Soon, almost everyone in the Dihua Prefecture's immortal cultivation world knew that the destruction of the 4 major sects was most likely caused by Li Qingyun alone, and Li Qingyun had the momentum to unify the Dihua Prefecture's immortal cultivation world, and no one could stop him. Chapter 85, Bold Action. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The Beast Farm is under construction. Construction successful. Currently, there are 500 Qi training level monsters, 28 foundation building monsters, 3 Jindan level monsters, and no Yuanying level monsters in the Beast Farm. Google search to read. Li Qingyun estimated that the Beast Farm is probably as useful as the spiritual field, and the effect will not be obvious in the short term. Upgrade all the buildings. As soon as the voice fell, the system did not ask Li Qingyun if he was sure. Suddenly, a huge light enveloped the entire Qingshan Sect. In Li Qingyun's eyes, countless mysterious runes appeared on all the buildings, floating upward like flying flowers, dazzling people. After an unknown period of time, the runes dissipated. Upgrade completed, 5 buildings upgraded this time. Sect name, Qingshan Sect. Sect overview, buildings, 800. Industries, 600. Disciples, 500. Teachers, 150. Sect master, 100. Total score, 2150, 4-star sect, 5-star sect needs to reach 10,000. Seeing the sect attribute panel, Li Qingyun was quite emotional. The last time he opened it was when Hanli and Xuanhuan first raided the sect. At that time, the sect was still a little short of the strength of a 2-star sect. Now, the system should have calculated the sect attributes of Qingshan Sect after theoretically integrating Dihua Sect, so, after consuming Dihua Sect, Qingshan Sect, Huangquan Sect, and Xiaoyao Sect, Qingshan Sect has been promoted to a 4-star sect, but it is still a little short of a 5-star sect. Li Qingyun stood in the cave area behind the sect, staring at the attribute panel in a daze. Suddenly, Feng Yong ran from the front hall and ran to Li Qingyun. "Master, Lin Zhixiao wants to see you and is waiting in the hall. Besides, he brought a lot of people this time. I saw Wang Ruhai was also there." Li Qingyun said, "It doesn't matter. Those people are the presidents of the Chamber of Commerce of the 5 cities in Dihua Prefecture, and some friends from various sections. I asked Lin Zhixiao to call them here. Let's go and meet them." Li Qingyun took the lead and walked in front. Feng Yong was stunned and hurried to catch up. In the moment just now, he actually felt the shadow of a peerless strong man in Li Qingyun, who was able to plan and make plans and lift heavy things with ease. In the main hall of Qingshan Sect, several familiar faces gathered in Qingshan Sect: Xiong Jianmu, Tang Yongho, Wang Ruhai, Sun Liancheng. They didn't know why Li Qingyun called them over, but they couldn't look at Li Qingyun the same way as before. Li Qingyun was now the number one figure in Dihua Prefecture. They were all thinking about how they should get along with Li Qingyun. After a while, Li Qingyun walked into the hall, followed by Feng Yong and an old man who looked very old. The sharp-eyed people in the hall recognized that man. It was the second elder of the Soul Capture sect, Su Taiha. The faces of several Chamber of Commerce presidents who had never seen Li Qingyun immediately became solemn. Sure enough, the rumors were true. At that time, Su Taiha, the supreme elder of the Soul Capture sect, came to cause trouble for Li Qingyun, but was captured by Li Qingyun directly. No wonder. Welcome everyone, you have come all the way here, thank you for your hard work. Li Qingyun greeted them generously. How dare I? Everyone said hurriedly. Let's not waste any more time. Do you know the purpose of calling you here this time? Li Qingyun asked. Wang Ruhai glanced around and said hurriedly, please give instructions to Sect Master Li. Mr. Wang, you are welcome. Li Qingyun said, as the presidents of the Chamber of Commerce, you must have some understanding of the several prefectures around Dihua Prefecture. I believe you all know that the surrounding prefectures are all centered on one sect, right? Several people answered, of course we know. Li Qingyun said, I won't beat around the bush. I will also change Dihua Prefecture to a sect center, with Qingshan Sect as the center and radiating outward. What do you think? Sun Liancheng's expression became serious and he said, Sun Liancheng will definitely do his best to help Sect Master Li, and will do whatever he wants. Wang Ruhai and other Chamber of Commerce presidents saw this and naturally followed Sun Liancheng's lead. They also knew that under the current situation, they had no choice but to support Li Qingyun. Li Qingyun said, no need to be so polite, just don't cause me any trouble, just cooperate with me. Li promises that it won't be long before Qingshan Sect will surpass the sects in several nearby prefectures and lead you to get more resources. At that time, you will definitely benefit. Yes. So, from today, Mr. Sun Liancheng will take the lead in establishing the Dihua Prefecture Chamber of Commerce Alliance, with its headquarters in Shuangliu City at the foot of Daqing Mountain. Don't worry, it won't be long before Shuangliu City will be the center of Dihua Prefecture. After saying this, Li Qingyun turned around and looked at Xiong Jianmu and the others. Although Qingshan Sect has integrated all the other sects, I don't plan to gather everyone together, because I can't manage it. So, I plan to split the sects, put the disciples and elders who originally belonged to Qingshan Sect and Dihua Sect together to form Qingshan Sect 1, and put the disciples who originally belonged to Xuanhuan Sect and Xiaoyao Sect together to form Qingshan Sect 2. But Sect 1 and Sect 2 are both outer sections. In addition, an inner sect will be established, with Elder Su Taiha as the inner sect leader. At the same time, the difficulty of outer sects to enter the inner sect will be increased. If you want to enter the inner sect, it will be dozens of times more difficult than before. Inner sect disciples have the opportunity to come to the sect's main sect, the Qingshan, to study once a year. Xiong Jianmu and the other two were shocked by Li Qingyun's drastic reforms. This model can indeed allow the original four sects to continue to operate without major conflicts, and the two sects can be merged into one, which can also enhance the relationship between sections compete. So, are you two willing to serve as the sect leaders of the first and second sects? Li Qingyun looked at Xiong Jianmu and Tang Yongho deeply and asked. Huh? The two of them said almost at the same time. You two are strong enough to manage the outer disciples, are you willing? Xiong Jianmu took a deep breath and clasped his fists. Thank you, sect leader Li, I am willing. Tang Yongho's face turned red. Although he couldn't figure out why Li Qingyun entrusted him with such an important thing, he looked at Li Qingyun's eyes and finally said, I am willing too. Okay. Li Qingyun exclaimed in praise and said, then the specific implementation will be left to you two, it depends on your ability. As you command. Sun Lianqing looked at Li Qingyun and said, Sect Leader Li, I have submitted the application for the Qingshan Sect star promotion and the Dihua Mansion's name change to the superiors. The superiors replied that they will send someone down to evaluate in 3 days. Li Qingyun said, okay. Sun Lianqing glanced around and said, it's very likely that Senior Han Li will come this time. Li Qingyun's eyes lit up, okay. After the short meeting, everyone left. Only Xiong Jinmu was stopped by Li Qingyun and stayed. Li Qingyun's expression changed from his previous majesty, and he asked Xiong Jinmu gently. Xiaoyu is not in the sect, where has he gone? Chapter 86, 9 Palaces. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Don't you know? Xiong Jinmu looked at Li Qingyun in astonishment and said so. I asked the great elder Yang Haiaoxue. When she took down the soul-snatching sect, she went to look for Yi Xiaoyu, but she didn't find any trace of Yi Xiaoyu in the end. Did she leave the sect a long time ago? Xiong Jinmu sighed and said, it seems that you really don't understand. Sister Yi Xiaoyu has reached the state of great perfection of qi training 2 years ago, but she has not yet established a foundation. It's because she has extraordinary talent and hopes to strive for a better foundation when she builds a foundation. For example, we are satisfied with a medium-grade foundation, and we are happy with a high-grade foundation. For Sister Yi Xiaoyu's talent, at least a super-grade foundation, or even the legendary perfect foundation is worthy of her. Li Qingyun nodded. He grew up with Yi Xiaoyu and knew that Yi Xiaoyu's cultivation speed was many times faster than his since childhood. She was always the highest level among her peers. In the first 2 years, she suppressed her realm and stayed in the great perfection of qi training. I think this is the purpose. At that time, Situ Quan also valued her very much, but he had other purposes. These few days, I have checked the documents of the sect and found that there is a peerless sect called Xuanhuan, which recruits students every 50 years across the entire continent, and the most recent recruitment examination was this year. It is said that every time a qualified disciple is sent in, the small sect that sends the disciple can get a considerable reward, so for the past 2 years, Situ Quan and the elders Su Taihe have been doing their best to train senior sister Yi Xiaoyu. While you were entangled with Huang Quanzi and others, senior sister Yi Xiaoyu had been sent to the recruitment examination site of Qinghuan Hall by the elders in the sect. She left. Li Qingyun's mind was empty, and he couldn't accept it for a while. But you don't have to worry, sect master. It is said that senior sister Yi Xiaoyu, with the cultivation of qi training, can defeat the elders in the late stage of foundation building. Did she leave anything for me? Li Qingyun asked anxiously. Xiong Jinmu was stunned for a moment and said softly, no. Oh. Li Qingyun lowered his voice, but after a moment, he raised his head again and asked, where is she taking the test? Xiong Jinmu said, it is said that the disciples in our Jiugongdao area all went to the Jugongs in various places for the test. Is that so? The Dihua prefecture where Li Qingyun is located is affiliated with my prefecture along with several nearby prefectures, and my prefecture and several nearby states are all under the jurisdiction of a huge sect. This sect is called Sangliu Palace, which is a 9-star sect, and Sangliu Palace is a branch of an even larger sect, and together with the other 8 palaces, it forms an even more gargantuan sect called Jiugongdao. Dao is a higher unit than Zhou, and one Dao contains dozens of Zhous and countless Fu, just like after Qingshan Sect unified Dihua Prefecture was renamed Qingshan Prefecture, and this Jiugongdao was formed when the Jiugong unified the Dao that was originally unknown, and finally formed the Jiugongdao. Such a sect composed of 9 9-star sects is undoubtedly a sect of the Daotong level. Thinking of this, Li Qingyun looked serious and warned himself. Li Qingyun, you must not be complacent just because you have achieved a little success in this small place of Dihua Prefecture. You must continue to work hard. These are far from enough. Ding, the host is determined and more confident on the road to the strongest sect. Reward the host with 100 genius points. Li Qingyun curled his lips. 100 points, really generous. But the host's message immediately made Li Qingyun excited. System. the gate transformed by the system can help the host sneak into the secret realms of other sects at the cost of genius points. Is the assessment secret realm of Jiugong Dao okay? System, Jiugong Dao, Yunmeng's, secret realm, opening time, tomorrow at noon, strength limit, below heaven and man, resources, exotic beasts, exotic flowers and herbs, spiritual medicine, treasure land, marrow washing pool, assists Qi training monks to condense the foundation of Taoism, standard configuration of Daodong level sects, is the top foundation condensation treasure land in the cultivation world, with a chance to make progress. Those who enter can condense into a perfect foundation for the Dao, the golden core pool, which assists the foundation building cultivators in forming the core, is a standard feature of the Daodong level sections. It is currently the top golden core condensation treasure land in the cultivation world, and has a chance to make those who enter condense into a top-level golden core. The infant pond, which assists the golden core cultivators in forming the infant, is a relatively advanced Yuanian condensation treasure land in the cultivation world. Gurgle. Li Qingyun swallowed his saliva. He has reached the false core realm. Recently, he has been worrying about how to form the core. Although his current realm is false core, without the golden core, he can only be regarded as a foundation-building cultivator. If you form the core by yourself without the assistance of the treasure land, even if you are now a flawless foundation, there is a high probability that you will form a golden core of low quality. Although the system can improve the quality of the foundation, who can guarantee that it can also improve the quality of the golden core? Even if it can improve the quality of the golden core, I don't know how many genius points I will have to lose by then. So, when forming the core for the first time, you must form the best golden core as much as possible. After all, a treasure land that specializes in assisting the formation of the core is definitely the top in the cultivation world and is definitely not in vain. Besides, I still have to go to the secret realm to look for Xiaoyu. How can I not go? Although time is a bit tight, the secret realm will be open tomorrow, but I finally caught up, but it's time to bring Pingyan and Sun Liang with me. They are not weak among the Qi training cultivators, so it's good to go in and hone their skills. After making up his mind, Li Qingyun went to the back mountain and called out several disciples who were practicing. Pingyan and Sun Liang were practicing the Yuelu swordsmanship newly assigned to them by Li Qingyun in the back mountain, while the newcomer Pu Guantou sat on the ground, lowered his head, and played with the sand with both hands in a grieved manner. Li Qingyun said, "Why don't you two bring your junior brother to practice together?" Speaking of the word junior brother, Li Qingyun looked at the bald man who was 2 or 3 times older than him, as peaceful as a little boy, and his face twitched. When Pingyan saw Li Qingyun coming, he threw away his sword and ran over to grab Li Qingyun's hand. "Master, it's not that we don't take him with us, it's that he said that playing with a sword is too scary and he doesn't dare to use a sword." Pingyan grabbed Li Qingyun's hand, shook it, and said affectionately. Li Qingyun looked at the 2-meter-tall bald man playing with the sand. "Forget it, then he doesn't need to learn swordsmanship." "Oh, master." Pingyan grabbed Li Qingyun's hand and twisted his feet back and forth. He obviously had something to say but was embarrassed. "What's wrong?" Pingyan's legs were almost twisted into knots. "Well, can I not be his senior brother, but his junior brother?" "Well, I will be a junior disciple from now on, okay?" Li Qingyun wondered, why. Pingyan's face turned red. Pingyan knows that no matter how many children there are in the family, the youngest one is usually the one that causes the most pain. Pingyan used to be the youngest child, so everyone loved me the most. Li Qingyun was dumbfounded. This little devil is safe, he is really a little devil. Pingyan's big black eyes rolled. "Master, okay? From now on, when Pingyan is a young disciple, he must honor the master well. He will give you water to wash your feet, beat your back and shoulders, go up the mountain of swords, and come down from the fire." "Stop, stop, stop. I promise you, I promise you." Li Qingyun said hurriedly, "It's really unbearable for such a cute baby to act coquettishly." "Okay, thank you, master." Pingyan cheered and ran to Pu Guantou. It seems that he will become Pu Guantou's junior disciple in the future. "You 3, get ready and go out with me early tomorrow morning." Pingyan's eyes shone. "Do you want to fight, master?" "Right. The bald man who was playing in the sand looked extremely ugly. He turned to look at Li Qingyun with an expression as if he was about to cry, "Master, can I not go?" Chapter 87, Yunmeng Lake. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Sure enough, early the next morning, only Sun Liang and Ping came to Li Qingyun to report. Puleta lay on the bed, covering his head and saying that he was sick. Google search reading. Li Qingyun sighed and told this disciple, who was huge in body but extremely timid, that he had been going to the scripture pavilion to read more in the past few days and would no longer force him. It's almost noon. Sun Liang, Pingan and Li Qingyun stood in front of the sect gate and looked at Li Qingyun quietly. Pingan asked, "Master, where are we going to fight this time?" Li Qingyun said, "Take you to a good place where you can break through." "Where?" Sun Liang and Pingan asked in unison. Li Qingyun smiled mysteriously, took out a jade slip and handed it to the two of them. "They are all crowded here." The two of them put the jade slip on their foreheads and read the information inside. Their eyes widened and they stared at Li Qingyun. "Master, is there such a good thing?" Pingan Dao's face turned red and he said excitedly, "It must be fun." Sun Liang pulled Ping En's arm and reminded, "Ping En's safety should come first. Don't be greedy for success. The most important thing is to enter the marrow washing pool and complete the foundation building." Ping En smiled and said, "Okay, senior brother." Li Qingyun said, "Qi training monks and foundation building monks will be transported to different areas after the secret realm is opened. When the time comes, you two must pay attention to safety together, do you understand?" "Clear." Also, Li Qingyun took out 2 golden pills and handed them to Sun Liang and Ping En. "Be sure to take these 2 pills before you can make a breakthrough." Ping En took the elixir, put it into Sun Liang's hand and said, "Thank you, master." Buzz, there was a burst of space fluctuations at the gate, and a barrier entrance appeared out of thin air in front of Li Qingyun. Li Qingyun said, "Here we go, let's go in." The 3 of them stepped in, and the barrier entrance disappeared into thin air again. Ding, bring 3 people into the Yunmeng secret realm, it will cost 300 genius points. Not long after the 3 people disappeared, Uncle Lu took a broom and slowly swept the floor until he arrived here. The sound of the broom sweeping the ground was so loud that no one could hear the long sigh from Salashla and the sound of sweeping the floor. The central city of Jiugong Road, Jiugong City, has a population of tens of millions. Dihua Prefecture has a population of at least 1 million, which is considered a relatively small prefecture, while Jiugong Road has 360 prefectures and 72 prefectures, and the population is even more astronomical. Therefore, Jiugong City, as the center of Jiugong Road, has a population of tens of millions, which is within a reasonable range. This city is centered on the Taoist level sect, the Jiugong Taoist sect, so every move of the sect will affect this city, such as today, Jiugong Dao held a grand assessment ceremony. Geniuses from various regions were directly transmitted from the teleportation array of Jiugong into the Yunmeng secret realm of the main sect to accept the assessment. This is a rare ceremony in decades, so Jiugong City is much busier than usual. At this time, a man who looked like an elder was lecturing the disciples waiting in front of the entrance to the secret realm. Although your elders may have explained it before, in case some people don't know, I still have to say it again. After entering, there is a buffer zone called Jiagong City. Fighting is prohibited there, but there are elders from my sect. Being responsible, you can do some business and exchange things. Some of the disciples below obviously knew Yunmeng's information very well, but some obviously didn't know it. When they heard the elders' words, they hurriedly took it to heart with serious expressions on their faces. Besides, whether you picked up the token to enter the secret realm, passed it down from your family, or gave it to you through a relationship, when you enter the entrance later, you must take the token and walk in a polite manner. Otherwise, if something goes wrong, you won't be able to enter the secret realm this time. I won't be responsible then. Listen up, be sure to walk in properly, walk in, no flying, sudden. Call out, a stream of light flew past and rushed directly into the circle of light at the entrance to the secret realm. A disciple below whispered, "Elder, did someone fly in?" The elder glared at the disciple, "Nonsense. How could someone fly in? Call out, Another stream of light flew in. Look, someone just flew in. This time, more people saw Lu Guang and murmured, yes, didn't the elder just say that you can only walk in a polite manner? You can only walk. Hey, that's all just to scare you, to make you be more honest. The elder said, shut up, everyone. It's almost opening time. If you don't keep quiet, I won't open the door. The elder shouted fiercely, and the disciples in the audience suddenly became quiet. The elder was not only proud, but these disciples didn't have to be afraid of him, but, the next moment. Call out, another stream of light flew in. Wow, someone actually flew in. Yes, this is definitely a person's escaping light. The disciples who were quiet for a moment started making noise again. The elder was discouraged and sighed, forget it, open the door and go in. I muttered in my heart, which senior came in so boldly and made it impossible for me to get off the stage. Forget it, you can't keep mumbling, these old monsters found out without saying anything. Xiajiagong City, the three streams of light just now were the three of Li Qingyun's master and apprentice, but Li Qingyun did not arrive at Xiajiagong City before the main force. It was not that he did not know how to seize the opportunity, but, he did not know the way at all. It was only after the later main force entered the secret realm that the three of them followed the main force all the way to Xiajiagong City. After observing all the way, Li Qingyun found that this secret realm was very different from the outside world. Without the sun, the sky is always a dark color, not to mention dim, but there is definitely no bright meaning, giving people a sense of depression. The terrain is very rich. The distance from the entrance of the secret realm to Xiajiagong City is not far, but Li Qingyun saw a variety of terrains such as deserts, ice fields, and wastelands. Of course, the largest area is still. Li Qingyun looked up at the sky. Under the dim sky at the horizon, there were layers of soil-like substances, that is Yunmengs, a huge wetland that occupies nearly 70% of the entire secret realm. It is even higher than the ground. People can see the swamp in the distance as long as they look up. Li Qingyun felt a terrifying suction force above the swamp. He had a premonition that once he fell into the swamp, even if he was at the false elixir stage, he would be sucked into the swamp and could not struggle out. After thinking for a while, he led his two disciples to a building in Xiajiagong City. This is a chamber of commerce, which looks like a chamber of commerce organized by the Qingshan Sect. There should be the information he wants here. Chapter 88 Intelligence. You are listening at novelfull.audio. You three gentlemen, please come in, the trade fair is about to begin. As soon as Li Qingyun and the others entered the door, a person who looked like a handyman came up to greet the three of them. Li Qingyun asked suspiciously, trade fair? What? The handyman asked, don't you three young masters know about the trade fair in this little Jiogong city? Please give me some advice. Young master, you are so polite. Please sit here while I tell you everything. While talking, the busboy had already moved Li Qingyun and the others to a table in the hall. The main hall is as wide as a square, with several doors opened around it, and a circle of elegant tables and chairs placed in the middle. Several people took their seats. The handyman said, it seems that this is your first time entering Yunmeng's secret realm, and you don't know much about Yunmeng's yet. Li Qingyun asked, is it possible that there are still people who often enter here? The young handyman smiled and said, young master, you don't know. Although the Yunmeng secret realm was opened only 50 years ago, for the Foundation Establishment monks and the Golden Core monks, 50 years is not a very long time. It is not uncommon for some Foundation building monks who did not get the opportunity they wanted when they were young to suppress their realm and stay in the false elixir stage. They wait for 50 years to enter the Yunmeng secret realm again. This phenomenon is even more common among Golden Core cultivators. Some Golden Core cultivators will enter Yunmeng multiple times in their lives for some great opportunity. After all, Yunmeng is a secret realm of the 9 palaces. The great opportunities within it are beyond the reach of most monks in their lifetime. Li Qingyun recalled that when he went to Xiajiagong City from the entrance of the secret realm, he had seen several monks whose auras were obviously much older than those around them. He didn't take it to heart at the time. Now it seems that it should be this kind of opportunity. The monk who entered the secret realm for the first time, the handyman said, this kind of monk has a special name in Yunmengs, called, the Restorer. Recoverer. Li Qingyun read, this title is really apartment. In addition, the miasma and poisonous gas is raging in Yunmengs. If you want to enter Yunmengs, you must take the qi-avoiding pill to avoid the miasma invasion. This qi-avoiding pill is also the main resource of the Zhajiagong City Trade Fair. The handyman continued, during the trade fair, monks will also exchange information and materials they have, and they will also call friends to go together. After the trade fair is over, the trial will truly begin. Everyone will be randomly teleported to various places. The handyman looked at Ping An and Sun Liang and said to Li Qingyun, in other words, these two young masters will be teleported to the trial area for Qi training disciples, and you will be teleported to the trial area for Foundation establishment disciples. The trial is divided into 3 stages. After each stage, there is an opportunity to return to Little Jiogong City to trade resources, Li Qingyun suddenly realized. Thank you. While he was talking, he took out a plump, crystal-clear spirit stone from his storage jade pendant and handed it to the handyman. This is a middle-grade spiritual stone. 1 middle-grade spiritual stone is worth 100 low-grade spiritual stones. After Lin Jixiao's many operations and the income from many sect properties, Li Qingyun is now rich. Now that he has received so much useful information from this handyman, he will not be stingy with this middle-grade spiritual stone. Thank you for the reward, young master. The handyman was overjoyed, took the spirit stone, and hurriedly thanked him. Even in a big city like Jiogong City, a medium-grade spirit stone was enough for him to practice for a long time. By the way, this pamphlet is for you. You may need it. The handyman seemed to suddenly remember something and took out 3 pamphlets from his arms and handed them to Li Qingyun and the others. After the handyman left, Li Qingyun stood up and took Sun Liang and Pin Gan to the area where the trade fair was located. The foundation building monks and Qi training monks at the trade fair are separate, and once they enter the trade fair, the trial begins. Li Qingyun took out a storage ring from his arms, handed it to Sun Liang, and said, after the trade fair starts, there will definitely be a lot of places where spirit stones will be used. Take these spirit stones and spend them as you like. After the first stage is over, gather here and master will divide the spiritual stones with you. Sun Liang sensed the spirit stones in the storage ring and said, with so many spirit stones, master, won't it be enough? Ping An also echoed, yes. Master, you should keep more of them, Ping An doesn't need many spiritual stones. Li Qingyun smiled and said, master has many spiritual stones. Besides, even if there is no spirit stone, there are so many people in the trial. Li Qingyun gave the 2 disciples a look, do you understand? Ping An and Sun Liang looked at Li Qingyun and seemed to understand something, their eyes getting brighter and brighter. He, if you say that, we probably don't need to ask master for spiritual stones anymore. Someone was passing by and saw the malicious smiles of the 3 people. While feeling baffled, they also felt a little uneasy. These 3 people, 1 big and 2 small, should obviously be geniuses from all over the world. Why do they feel like bandits now? In the trading floor, someone arrived early, sat on one side, and looked at the people around him. Li Qingyun is not in the habit of hanging out with others, and prefers to be alone. Moreover, he also believes that with his perfect foundation for foundation building, he should not need the help of others in the foundation building realm. At this time, he was listening to the movements around him while flipping through the pamphlet that the handyman had just handed to him. After opening the booklet, he found that the opening of this secret realm was such a matter that everyone paid attention to it. Some people even collected information about all the talented disciples who were going to enter the secret realm. The first place on the Jindan list, Zhang Tianyi, was a fake infant, a repeater. He formed an infant in the Yunmeng's infant pond 50 years ago. He was not satisfied with the quality of the infant, so he interrupted it and shattered his own infant. 50 years later, he returned to Yunmeng's again. His combat record was that he once escaped from the hands of the heavenly man realm in a one-on-one situation. The first place on the foundation building list, Xuanhuan, was a fake Dan, a repeater. He entered Yunmeng's for the first time at the age of 20. This year, He is 170 years old and entered Yunmeng's for the third time. It is speculated that his goal is to at least form a purple Dan. This person's magic weapon, body, and skills have all been cultivated to the extremely strong level of foundation building. He has defeated a peak Gene Dan master. Li Qingyun took a deep breath. These two people are really powerful. It seems that it is best to avoid these two people when he goes in. Then, Li Qingyun looked at the Qi training list, and sure enough, saw the name of the person he missed day and night, Yi Xiaoyu, the first on the Qi training list. Qi training great perfection, from my mansion, first time entering Yunmeng's, record, defeated the late stage of foundation building. Who? Li Qingyun took a deep breath, calmed his restless mood, and continued to read. I saw another familiar face, the 13th on the foundation building list, Xuanhuan, supergrade Dao Foundation, false Dan stage, Tianji Pavilion Deacon, once defeated the middle stage of Gene Dan. Xuanhuan. It's really a narrow road for enemies. Chapter 89, Secret Realm Opened. You are listening at novelfull.audio. When Li Qingyun lowered his head to read the brochure, almost everyone in the trading room had arrived. A man who looked like an elder appeared among the crowd and said, "Everyone is here, then the trade fair will begin. The rules are very simple. I will start the task release and receive the magic weapon later. I will issue a token to each of you. The token is responsible for receiving and releasing tasks. The reason for using this magic weapon is to allow everyone's needs to be disclosed and to maintain a certain degree of confidentiality. After all, except you, everyone knows who took this task and who traded this treasure. Okay, without further ado, let's get started." As soon as the elder finished speaking, something like a curtain appeared out of thin air behind him. Immediately afterwards, the elder waved his sleeves, and countless tokens flew out and accurately flew into everyone's hands. Li Qingyun had not paid attention at first, but now he looked up and observed the hall, and found that there were nearly 1,000 people gathered in the hall. These people were all trialists in the foundation building period. The tokens were issued, and the people in the hall who were originally silent started to move as soon as they got the tokens. As the tokens were activated, messages appeared on the curtain. I have a trace of a 10,000-year-old snow lotus. I can recruit teammates with 20,000 spirit stones to go with me, or I can sell the trace of the snow lotus with 200,000 spirit stones. The traces of the Lingyan leopard cub, 300,000 spirit stones for sale. An endless stream of rare treasures, as well as rare and exotic beasts that are rare to see in the outside world for thousands of years, can be found on this curtain. Moreover, since the magic weapon can cause this information to be displayed on the curtain, it means that this information must be correct. Suddenly, there was a commotion among the crowd, because of a message. Take out 10 air-avoiding pills in advance and replace them with a top-notch secret technique. Li Qingyun just learned from the booklet that the trial has not officially started yet, but after the trade fair, the trial will officially begin. By then, Yunmeng's will automatically block all spiritual stone transactions, and Qi-avoiding pills, which can make people stay in the swamp for a long time, will become the hard currency in this secret realm. As for the Qi-avoiding pills, they are only effective if they are automatically distributed by Shaojiugong City. The deeper you go into the swamp, the greater the consumption of the Qi-avoiding pills. Everyone will be equipped with 50 Qi-avoiding pills at the beginning, which means that if you want more pills, you must obtain materials and exchange them at the Jiugong Tao Merchant Guild, or directly obtain them from others. Grab inside. 10 Qi-avoiding pills would be worthless in the outside world, but in the Yunmeng secret realm, they might really be able to be replaced with a top-level secret technique. Sure enough, a moment after this message appeared, it disappeared above the curtain, apparently being picked up by someone. As for the people who sell the Qi-avoiding pills, it is obvious that they are the resurgence from 50 years ago. Only they will have the Qi-avoiding pills in their hands. Li Qingyun looked at the information on the curtain boredly. Either he didn't like it, or it was too expensive and he couldn't afford it. Suddenly, a message appeared, which caught Li Qingyun's attention. Tianji pill is a pill that covers part of the appearance and aura, but it can only last half a stick of incense and 20,000 spirit stones. Half a stick of incense, the time is too short. After a battle, it takes at least 2 sticks of incense. Someone shook his head. Although the function is very practical, the time is too short. However, something moved in Li Qingyun's heart. Although the elixir lasted for a short time, for him, the time was not necessarily half the time of burning incense. Thinking of this, Li Qingyun quickly accepted the message and put 20,000 spirit stones into the token to complete the transaction. Soon, as the spirit stone disappeared, a pill that looked a little rough on the surface fell into Li Qingyun's hands. Li Qingyun showed a smile. Sure enough, this was a defective elixir. After being inscribed, the duration of this elixir should be much improved, with most people posting tasks and intercepting tasks one after another. The trading time is over, the elder said. Next, you will be teleported to any area in Yunmeng's. As for where you are, it all depends on your destiny. The old man waved his sleeves, and a force of space surged out. Then, a huge vortex appeared on the trading floor. Li Qingyun only felt a strong suction force coming from the top of his head, and then saw that everyone in the trading hall was sucked into the whirlpool. At the moment when he was about to disappear, the old man said again, "Don't forget to take the qi-avoiding pill immediately after landing." A flash of bright light passed by, and the next moment, the scene in front of Li Qingyun changed from a trading hall to a muddy swamp. Wherever you look, you can see lakes, mud pits, dark ground, lush reeds, and sometimes a few towering ridges. This combination of terrain makes Li Qingyun a little confused, but he didn't hesitate for too long, because soon, he felt an inexplicable aura coming, which stagnated the spiritual energy around him. This was miasma. Li Qingyun quickly took out the qi-avoiding pill and prepared to take it to prevent himself from being invaded by the miasma, but an object in his storage space suddenly lit up, absorbing all the miasma that was constantly gathering. Is it a ghost spirit bead? After Pu Guangtou descended from the door, Li Qingyun did not give the ghost spirit pearl to Pu Guangtou, because the ghost spirit pearl had absorbed the power of 72 Xuanhuan pills, and the inscriptions on it had changed from 6 to 7. He guessed that the ghost spirit pearl would definitely be of great use in the future, and Pu Guangtou had not expressed his thoughts on the ghost spirit pearl after becoming Li Qingyun's apprentice, so Li Qingyun was not in a hurry to give the ghost spirit pearl to Pu Guangtou. Unexpectedly, the ghost spirit pearl could also absorb miasma. This surprised Li Qingyun very much. In this way, he would not have to take the qi-avoiding pill to avoid the invasion of miasma. The qi-avoiding pill could be left behind and used to do something useful. Moreover, Li Qingyun found that after the ghost spirit pearl absorbed the miasma, the patterns on it actually became deeper. It seems that after the miasma was absorbed by the ghost spirit pearl, it could indeed enhance the power of the ghost spirit pearl. After confirming this, Li Qingyun began to observe the surrounding environment carefully. The concentration of spiritual energy is not low, probably 3 times the concentration in the spirit gathering array. Huh? Li Qingyun asked in surprise. He found several strange flowers and plants, one of which had only one long leaf from head to toe, and another flower with 5 colors. Li Qingyun did not recognize these flowers and plants, but thought that since they grew in Yunmeng's, they would not be ordinary flowers and plants. No matter how valuable it is, it looks good, so he put it in the storage space first and asked someone to identify it later. With this thought, he stretched out his hand to pick the flower. Wait! This flower is poisonous. Suddenly, a scream came from behind Li Qingyun. Li Qingyun subconsciously stopped his hand. Is this flower poisonous? But then, before Li Qingyun could react, a figure flew over, grabbed the flowers in front of Li Qingyun, and ran away without looking back. Li Qingyun, oh my god! Someone actually dared to steal my things. Ding! Start the Yunmeng Secret Realm mission. There are 860 people participating in the trial in the Yunmeng's Foundation building Secret Realm. Task requirements. Please snatch 2,000 air-avoiding pills. Li Qingyun, who was flying in the air chasing the thief, almost stumbled and fell to the ground. You bastard system, there are more than 800 people in total, and you want me to snatch 2,000 air-avoiding pills? Chapter 90, Let It Be. You are listening at novelfull.audio. At this time, Li Qingyun felt a little regretful. This regret comes from 2 aspects. First, I regret not being more shameless and learn from Yang Haiaoxue her extremely fast escape technique. Second, I should not be arrogant to regret. The thief robbed me of the elixir. My first thought was, you guys came to rob me before I even robbed you. It is probably this idea that triggered the system's robbery mission. Brother behind me, our escape speeds are about the same, but I ran a while before you, so you can't catch up with me. The man in front actually started chatting with Li Qingyun. Li Qingyun said nothing and kept chasing after him. Hey, brother, let me tell you something. The treasures of heaven and earth are for those who have the ability. Your brother didn't get it. I was the first to get it. These 2 medicinal plants are already mine. Hey, I said, brother, please let me go. Dude, how about we stop? It's 50-50. No matter what the person in front said, Li Qingyun remained silent and chased after the person in front. Brother, why are you so rigid? During the time you have been chasing me, you have found countless genius treasures. Do you want to be angry with me? Brother, I'm a super-level Taoist priest. It's thankless for you to spend time with me. When the time comes and you are exhausted by me, I will stop and beat you. A quarter of an hour later, Li Qingyun grabbed the man in front of him by his collar, snatched the man's storage ring, and said, boy, you are quite talkative. The man hung on Li Qingyun's hand and panted, old brother, I'll give in. Brother, please show your noble hand and spare my life. Thump. Li Qingyun threw the man to the ground. Are you Ren Ran, who is 9th on the foundation building list? Ren Ran lay on the ground like a dead dog. Brother, what is 9th or not? That list is useless. I haven't seen him on the list, but his strength can beat me 10 times. Ah, Ren Ran raised his neck and let out a graceless cry like pinching a duck's neck. The masters are among the people. Li Qingyun looked at Ren Ran, his face was pale, and Ren Ran was lying on the ground like a dead dog. His small eyes were still full of light and his figure was extremely slender, like a bamboo pole. It is recorded in the list that this person is the best at beam skills. Whatever he wants to take, no matter who it is, he can steal it easily. He once stole a nascent Soul Peak storage bag, but it was later stolen. After 7 days and 7 nights of hunting, I had no choice but to return the storage bag with both hands. For such a person, it is difficult for Li Qingyun not to want to make friends. Ding, found a genius with special abilities, name, whatever, cultivation, fake elixir, supergrade Taoist foundation, qualifications, root 8, understanding 8, source of blessing 3, character 6, total score 25. Special ability, he is good at thieves' skills, but he is extremely unlucky and never encounters good things. Li Qingyun thought to himself, there are only a few flowers. Why not just give them to him, otherwise it would be difficult for him. Thinking of this, he took the flowers and walked towards Ren, but whoosh! Ren Ran suddenly jumped up like a mouse, grabbed Li Qingyun's storage jade pendant, and rushed out crazily. Li Qingyun, %% $, $. Ren Ran was extremely proud of holding Li Qingyun's storage jade pendant. If he expected this jade pendant to be good, it must be a very valuable storage space. The jade pendant itself is worth a lot, not to mention the treasures in the jade pendant. He looked up to the sky and laughed, and thought to himself, who said I can't get good things if I let my bad luck go wrong? Didn't I encounter a few grasses and 5 color flowers today, and then this jade pendant? Ha 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 ha. There is a hill in front of him. As long as his brother rushes into this hill, that person will never find him again. Then he will dispose of this jade pendant and make a lot of money. Boom! A red flame suddenly passed over Ren Ren's head and directly hit the hill in front of him. Immediately afterwards, Ren Ren saw that a large piece of the hill he originally wanted to escape to had been knocked off. Letting his scalp numb, he turned around tremblingly, put on a smile on his face, and looked at the angry Li Qingyun flatteringly. Brother, what a trick. Li Qingyun had no expression on his face and stretched out his right hand. Ren Ren smiled, ran to Li Qingyun's side, and returned Li Qingyun's storage jade pendant to Li Qingyun's hand with a smile on his face. He knew that he had offended someone he couldn't afford to offend this time. This old man was so powerful that he could easily kill himself with that blow just now. Li Qingyun took the storage jade pendant and hung it back on his waist, but stretched out his right hand again and looked at Ren, letting the sweat on his face fall down. He swallowed with a gulu sound. Brother, what do you mean? Li Qingyun smiled and said, don't you understand, hand over your storage bag, that I let my palms become sweaty and kept wiping them on my trouser legs. Damn it. I have encountered a tough guy. The key is that this tough guy is not very shameless. Ren gritted his teeth and finally took off the ring from his finger. Storage ring, all my brother's wealth is here. Li Qingyun smiled and said, I understand, genius is a treasure, and those who have the ability should take advantage of it. Ren looked like he was about to cry, brother, I was wrong. Please show your kindness and let me go for once. Li Qingyun was surprised and said, nothing wrong, do you still want to split the profits with me 50-50, Renyu? Seeing that Renyu looked like he had lost all hope in life, Li Qingyun threw out his chips at the right time, I can give it back to you, but you have to agree to one condition of mine. Renyu hurriedly said, I will go through fire and water, big brother. Li Qingyun said, do you know the people at the top of the list? Ah. Renyu said, I know them. Li Qingyun said, take me to find them. You want? Renyu widened his eyes. I think they should be richer than you, so if they rob, they will probably make more money. Renyu stared at Li Qingyun with wide eyes for a while, and said with sudden enlightenment, I finally figured it out, we are in the same line of work. I stole secretly, you robbed openly, Li Qingyun said, no, they have no grudges against me, I am not greedy for money, I just want the qi-avoiding pills in their hands. Renyu said, I just want the qi-avoiding pills, then you are killing people, Li Qingyun said, isn't there no death in the Yunmeng secret realm, that the booklet mentioned that when you are dying, the Yunmeng secret realm will automatically save you and teleport you back to Jiajiagong City, and, you can still participate in the trial in the next stage, Renyu muttered, for example, you are here to snatch the qi-avoiding pill, what's the difference between that and killing someone? Li Qingyun thought of the system's task and said, I don't want to do it either, I have my own reasons. Renyu, TSK, who would believe you? Li Qingyun looked at Renyu suddenly shut up and shrank his neck, what's wrong, big brother? Li Qingyun smiled, nothing. He felt a familiar feeling from Renyu, that was the feeling of playing between friends, he had a hunch that he would become friends with this Renyu.